Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday night. You guys are here live on the Dixie-Belle Paint Facebook page with Brushed by Brandy. I paint here live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And so tonight, we're going to be working on a project together. And I'm using the new Dixie-Belle Color Sawmill Gravy. And Sawmill Gravy has become probably my favorite non-white white, if that makes sense, in the Dixie-Belle line. Sorry, Drop Cloth. Drop Cloth formerly held that, but I think Sawmill Gravy is kind of where I'm going now. I'm going to show you these two on camera, and I'm hoping if I catch a shadow that you guys can tell the difference. This lighter color is Drop Cloth, and here I have Sawmill Gravy. So Sawmill Gravy has more gray undertones, whereas Drop Cloth has more warm, yellowy undertones, and I'm digging the Sawmill. It's almost a grayish color, but it's a very, very pale one. So that might help some of you see the difference between Drop Cloth and Sawmill Gravy. So this is the piece I'm working on tonight. And I picked up this chest because I love pieces like this for putting transfers on. I specifically needed a piece for a transfer because we got some new transfers out by Redesign with Prima. And I happen to have some of them tonight that I'm going to show you guys. And so the reason I like this piece so much for a transfer is it basically gives me little picture frames all across the top for transfers. So I think it's perfect. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be putting transfers inside of these little frames right here. And the transfer I'm going to be working with is this one here. So it's kind of a, I don't know, almost has kind of a nautical feel, but an Americana feel, but it's also a little bit bohemian. So I just thought it would be really cute with these framed out in these little frames up on the top of this mid-century piece here. So here's what I need your guys' help with tonight. I know I'm going to put this transfer up in the square, and I love, love, love the Sawmill Gravy. But I'm kind of drawing a blank on whether I should leave the rest of this piece in just the clean Sawmill Gravy finish, or should I do something else and put a stencil somewhere, or I don't know. I'm really liking the clean look on this one, but it feels like it's naked to me. I don't think I want to do drawer sides because these drawer boxes are like gorgeous. But I don't know, help me think about it. I'm curious to hear your guys' ideas. If you think as we're going through framing out the transfer in these squares, if I should do anything else to this piece too. So this is the transfer we're going to use tonight. I'm going to hang it back up here so you guys can keep looking at it. Draw some inspiration from it. That's what I usually do. If I'm doing a transfer, I will draw my inspiration from that transfer. So I'm going to pull out this Americana feeling. I've got some star inspired knobs coming from D. Lawless Hardware. D. Lawless Hardware is great, you guys, for low cost hardware, and they've got all kinds of designs in there. So now I'm going to show you some of the other designs that just came out in the new redesign transfers. These were just released, and I only have a few samples. So this is one transfer. What I like about these is there's a lot of like holiday themes. Like this would be a great, 4th of July, Memorial Day. It has that Americana feel with the red, white, and blue. There's a flag one that came out. These I think are great for your wintry pieces during the holidays. These will be really cute as drawer sides or on the inside of your cabinet here. The plaids are really cute. There's another plaid too. So that red, those two come together in one transfer set.
So we have a couple of wishes for some stripe action, and then another for framing out the drawers down below.
I don't know what I do. What would you frame them out with? So I can't show these. I'm not allowed to show these ones here. Oh, I can show.
We'll just bump the camera a little bit.
I can show this one. Sorry, I've got a whole mess of these, and don't ask me what any of them are called.
What are they called?
I have no idea. Literally, we get them as samples with no packaging. So this one here is gorgeous. This is a rose design. It comes in, so you get 2 sheets with this one. That's a duplicate of the one I already showed you guys. So we've got this rose design here. It's got some really pretty gold in it. And you can color in these. You can either watercolor them, or Redesign with Prima has oil pastels.
Sheila says you should accidentally show everyone, since you can't show things.
Nice try, Sheila. I got a couple good ones in there, though. You guys will get me in trouble. So this would be pretty, and then if you wanted to pull in a whole nother color, you could choose that color and, you know, paint this rose here with the oil pastels. And what did let's see, this one comes with, and they're really, really folded too. These two come together, where this is kind of a botanical print. See how they want to curl. And then this is very similar to this one here, only it's only in the red and white. So that's kind of cute too. This could have a holiday feel. Again, would be really cute with just a little peekaboo of this on a, this also almost feels like a harvest piece too. So I think there's some good holidays in here. And then this one is the same as the red plaid, but it's a black. I love this plaid. This plaid is so cute. I'm going to be using this for sure. And it comes with a little black and white gingham. So these are coming out just in time, as we have, I know I'm going to say this in September when it's dead freaking hot here, as we have winter around the corner, but as we want to start ordering and preparing for pieces for winter time, these plaids are great. So I'm going to move these out of the way. I wanted to show you guys those, but this is definitely the one I'm using for this piece. I actually chose this piece for this transfer, and I chose sawmill gravy to go with it. Sawmill gravy feels like it's a white, but it's not a pure white. It feels like a very good mid-century white. Because is that a thing? Does that make sense? So I'm going to pull these top two drawers out, because these are the ones we're going to work on. So all I've done to this chest so far is I cleaned it with Dixie Belle White Lightning, and I put 2 coats of sawmill gravy on it. They're beautifully dry and beautifully smooth. So I don't know, is there one of these I like better than the other one? Ooh, that's a tough call. I can also cut it up if there's certain squares that I like, that I really like, and I can choose. For example, if I wanted to isolate more of the blues, I could choose some of the blue squares on this. I'm gonna go with this one here. I like this big flower at the top. So I'm gonna start cutting this transfer apart. And I will probably get a few pieces out of this just one transfer. So when I'm cutting a transfer, all I do is I line it up on my piece and I start marking with my fingers, bending the transfer. I've still got the backing on it. You don't want to take your backing off, because once that backing is off, it's going to start adhering. And then I'm just going to take a razor blade and try to not slice my finger off. Make sure I cut it a little too big, because I can always I can always cut some off, but I can't make more. And I'm going to slice it right along the line of this molding. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to mark this line so I can cut the bottom too. And this will give me a nice little square. See how that marked the paper on the backing? That's all I need. I just need the mark on the backing. So I'm going to cut this one out. And you know, there's a million ways to cut a transfer up. This is just one that I'm doing tonight for these little squares. There. And this one has excess on it here, the white border around the edge. I didn't include that. So now I've got a perfect little square that I can put here on my piece. So I feel good about the size. I'm going to peel the backing off and go ahead and stick it. And these are going to be like cute little picture frames for this transfer. Now I really, really, really do not want excess hanging over the edge. So now that I've kind of got this placed, I'm going to trim it with the transfer still attached. So I'm going to take my razor blade and I'm just going to ride this edge. Take that off. Take that off, and I'm left with a piece perfectly sized to this little square. Now I'm going to take my burnishing tool and I'm just going to start rubbing this on. So I've heard rumors about these new transfers that they are really, really easy to go on. Apparently there's a new supplier and people are really, really liking the new transfers. So let's see if it's true. Here tonight, for the first time on camera,
dun, dun, dun.
You saw that was really minimal rubbing that I did with the burnishing tool. How cute is that? It's perfect. So proud of myself right now.
Let me see that clear plastic so I can show you
So this
everyone how much that it all came off. Nothing,
yeah,
no residue,
nothing stuck on the backing whatsoever.
All right.
That really fit perfectly in there. And I love the contrast of this transfer up against the color of the sawmill gravy. Even though what's in here is a little bit warmer, I still really wanted this cool white color against it. So now I'm going to come again. And see, this is where I could be like, oh, I kind of want this here, but I'm going to keep going along the same line and cut my next square. Doing the same thing. I'm going to mark it with my fingers. Right, and you can even use, brought one of these out, just a plastic putty knife will work too, and I can press that into the edge, and then I can mark my corner right here, and that's going to give me a square that I need to cut out. If you're not sure, you can cut your square a little bit larger than you need to, and then at least you know you'll have some excess. This should be a pretty close fit. I'm not making any promises though. Now if I place this right here, yeah, I like that. I'm going to line it up with the bottom and then I'll trim at the top. Thank you, baby. Oh, that's my razor blade. Yes, I do have random razor blades just floating around my workshop at any given time. So now I'm going to ride the top edge of the transfer and I'm going to trim this little. And I have a little bit of excess, but that's okay. I'd rather have more than not enough. Make sure that's really clean. Because if you don't and it attaches, it's really hard to get these off. They're meant to stick, and that's great, but if you want to try to get it off, they are hard. I have had people ask me, how do you get a transfer off if you want to remove it after? And my answer is take steel wool and a little bit of mineral spirits, and if you scrub at it, almost like removing wallpaper, how you have to get a little bit of abrasive and get moisture underneath it, that's exactly what you have to do with the transfer too. So if you use the mineral spirits, the steel wool gets abrasive on it, and that mineral spirits gets underneath, it will start lifting the transfer.
2 for 2. Look at that.
I know. I'm on a roll tonight.
Yes.
This girl is on fire.
No. I'm going to go with no on that.
Hey, alrighty then.
Twice today I've been serenaded. I think I'm good.
Do I want to know who the first one was? Because it wasn't your wife.
My boss's boss.
Did you get a raise with that? So same thing, I'm marking my edge here, and then I'm going to mark my bottom edge. I'm excited to get this drawer finished because then I can put it up and show you guys this transfer with the sawmill gravy against it, because I think it's a genius combination. So where do we stand on doing more to this piece? More, or like enjoy the cleanliness of a solid, beautiful single color finish? Because there is beauty in that too. I think I forget that sometimes. So I got my little square. This one introduces a little bit of the red in here. I have some cool stencils too. I have a kind of star one that's a little bit mid-century feeling. But I really like the simplicity of this color. I'm trying not to rub my paint because these little sticks will mark your paint.
Lori says she's never seen them come off this easy.
I know.
I agree. That's pretty slick.
I know. I totally agree. So samples were sent out to the design team, and we just started playing around with them, and that was the first comments that started coming out of our group. Now this is my first time doing one with the new transfers, and I have to say too, I mean, you can see I'm not putting any elbow grease into this at all.
And do you not know the name of this transfer?
Oh, you have my phone. I was like, let me look on my phone. I could know the name. Oh, I ripped that one. Didn't get caught at the bottom. Let's see if I can save it. Can you save it? That's okay. This is kind of a patchwork design, so what I could do is I can take another piece and I can patch it in right there, where I just ripped a little piece off the bottom. So I'm disappointed in that, but it's not totally unfixable. I don't even have to match up the pattern, because do you see how random the pattern is on this? It's meant to look like a patchwork design. So I'll just take a little line and piece it in there. And I just think I didn't burnish it down at the bottom enough. So I'm gonna do something. I feel like if I start here, I'm gonna end up cutting off this piece on the end, and I actually want that piece. So I'm gonna come over here and do this last square first to make sure that I can use this. I just like the colors on this one, this square. Okay, so that's a nice fit. I'm gonna come in here and mark this edge.
And where did you get the transfers from?
So these are by Redesign with Prima. Dixie Belle does carry a variety of the Redesign with Prima transfers. However, this is a brand new release. So this particular one will not be out until mid-September. There are some retailers taking pre-orders, and Dixie Belle, I'm sure, will have them once they're out on the market. But right now, these are brand new, not even in stores yet. So they've got 10 coming out right now, 10 new transfers. There are 10 more coming out in about a week. We get 20 new transfers, you guys. This is one thing I'm loving about the Redesign with Prima transfers, is they're making sure that they keep the variety fresh, because it can tend to happen where you start seeing the same transfers over and over and over again. So by offering us new variety, you get to start seeing, you keep using the transfers, but without it getting so repetitive. Line that up with my edge, and then I'm going to come in here with my razor blade and trim it back.
Well, this is just in time for the conference.
Oh yeah, how convenient, huh? So there are three conferences coming up, depending on who you are. In 1 month, you guys, I will be teaching in person in Southern California, Ontario, California. It's called the Redesign with Dixie Belle Tour. I'm sorry, Redesign with Dixie Belle Conference 2019. There is a Facebook page if you guys want to go look that up. 1 month from today, so September 28th and 29th. And I'm going to have a whole bunch of new molds. You guys will get to use new transfers, I'm sure. They always bring all the new toys. Now my son's sitting here and he thinks I really mean toys, but what I really mean is transfers.
Bam! Look at that.
How cute is it already?
See, Leanne is asking if I'm back on the job tonight, so I really have to step it up a notch because of a stupid tripod.
No, yeah, because Leanne watched my video this morning. So this whole week, you guys, I've been live in the World of Chalk Paint Distress and Decoupage group. I've been live all week doing lives in that. Every morning. Tomorrow is our last one. I think it's been a really good series. What do you think, Leanne?
The tripod makes me mad.
Yeah, we talked about tripods today. We talked about going live today.
Talked about being able to replace me for 20 bucks.
We talked about staging yesterday. We're talking about brush care tomorrow. So it's just an informational series, not painting. We're just talking about cake.
Talking about cake.
Yep, just talking about cake.
Just talking about cake. So that's a joke in our family, you guys. My 5-year-old son loves him some food since the day he was born, and so when he's telling a secret, something he doesn't want you to know, and you ask him what he's talking about, he'll say, "Just talking about cake." So it's kind of a joke in our family that anytime. So this is my last one here, and then I can pick this up. Trim that piece off. Let's see, is that a good one to use right here?
Close.
Ooh. I don't even have to cut a new piece.
Ooh.
Nice. That one, my scrap is just the perfect size for cutting for this little piece that I came up short on here. Let's see if I can get it to attach now. There we go.
Just talking about cake.
Let's talk about cake.
Ta-da.
Oh, that was just luck. Okay, I'll get this one good enough. I think my mistake there was I didn't get the edge well enough, so I'm going to try to make sure I get the edges. I don't want that to happen again.
Gonna get right there.
Yeah. Yay, it's super cute. Okay, so from here, I would go around it, and I'm gonna burnish my transfer.
Do you put a top coat over your transfers?
Yes. Should always seal your transfer. I'm gonna seal this one with satin clear coat. And once I apply it, so all I will do with this transfer is I take a Dixville finishing pad, and there are these white pads that are available on their website, and I cut mine into little pieces so I can get a whole bunch of uses out of it. And I just go around my entire transfer, and I'm gonna burnish. It's called burnishing. I'm gonna burnish my transfer, and that makes sure I have no air bubbles underneath, that it is fully adhered to my paint. So this is an important step, especially if you plan to use, your transfer can get your clear coat underneath, and that can start lifting your transfer. So this makes sure you have no air bubbles anywhere for your transfer or for your clear coat to get underneath. Because when it peels off that backing, you could get little air that gets caught in between the backing paper. So this is a fairly simple step. This is a solid transfer. Now when you have the ones that have a lot of script on them and a lot of details versus these solid sheets, those are a little bit harder to burnish because you've got a lot of little edges that you want to make sure are all attached. But these are just big solid squares, so they're really, really easy to go on. Okay. So I really love it. And I'm going to show you guys this in here. So that's kind of where I am, where I don't know if I want to add any more or if I just want this transfer to really be the feature.
Is there, sorry to interrupt, is there a page for people not attending the conference about the conference?
Let's see, the redesign with Dixie-Belle conference, that's a Facebook page, and anybody can join, even if you're not attending it. I send you there because you can go there and find the website. There's a website you can go to, but if you go into the group, there's links to the website. There's also links on the Dixie-Belle paint page. I believe on their, they've got it on their banner. Dixie-Belle, if you guys are on, can you attach a link to the redesign conference? If not, I can do it when I get off. So here on this next drawer, I can kind of decide, like I'm looking at the patterns, is there any that really appeal to me more than others? Because I could do it this way or I could do it this way. Let me show you this. This was the piece I cut off of the last one. These are a little too small to fit my square. See, I'd be short. So I'm gonna save this, and I'll use this. This would be a cute drawer side actually. It's a little small for this one, but I could get a drawer side somewhere out of this one. So always save your transfer pieces, your scraps and things. They come in handy when you least expect it. You'll be glad you have that.
Okay, the link has been posted.
Thank you so much, Dixie Belle. So that is the Redesign with Dixie Belle conference. There is also the Bells and Bow tour. That is in Edison, New Jersey on November 3rd. So those are 2 opportunities to actually learn in person. And we're playing, I know what we're doing in my class. We're doing molds in my class.
Sleeping?
Yeah, I wish. Prepare to be exhausted. Bring an extra suitcase because you get to take all your projects home with you at both conferences. But it's hands-on. My class, we're going to play with molds. We're going to play with paint. We're going to play with the brushes. We're going to use powders and waxes and all kinds of stuff. So you will really get a chance to put your hands on all kinds of products. Not just my class. Where's my scissors? There, thank you. Okay, so same thing on this drawer, where I scored out my little square. I'm just going to go and cut my edges. Careful to follow that little line that I made.
Hey, 3-day weekend coming up.
Oh,
Who's got big plans?
You do have a 3-day weekend, huh?
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
really only a 3-day weekend if Sean has a 3-day weekend with us. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
just me stuck home with the kids.
Otherwise, you have a 7-day weekend?
Yeah. Hey, hey. I worked for like a half an hour today. I'm kidding you guys.
Well, that's 2 of us.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Hope your
We gotta
boss-
talk.
Hope your boss isn't working. She's too busy
We dipped into karaoke time.
serenading you. No, I'm trying to avoid burnout right now. I'm really exhausted. My kids' school schedules, a schedule of lives I'm trying to keep up with, the releases from Redesign.
Sheila's on vacation till the 9th.
What? Good to know you're using your vacation wisely and watching me
And
paint.
so many people prepping for the hurricane.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I was just listening
Oh,
to
way
the
to
video
slap
about
me
that.
with reality. Now I feel bad.
So update you guys, what's it supposed to be when it hits land now? Because I heard yesterday, but I haven't heard anything
It's a
today. So this is the new
Wow. And it's taking our 83-year-old mom to go visit her 101-year-old grandmother.
Oh, that's really cool. That's amazing. See right here, I can tell as I'm pulling this up, it's got a little spot in there that didn't attach as well in the middle of the square. I'm gonna press it down, but that would be exactly how those air bubbles get inside there.
I'm just impressed with how easy this is going on.
I know, there are some where you really have to put your back into it.
Okay, category 4.
Wow. Stay safe, you guys. Where is it hitting in Florida? I'm assuming Florida, or where are you guys? What states?
West Palm Beach.
Okay.
Landfall Monday? Huh.
So, are people leaving their homes right now? Sorry, I'm just curious. We have fires and earthquakes in California. That's what our no
Yeah, I can
show,
stomach
but-
those, yeah.
Oh, I can't. So now I'm playing with the new redesign transfer tool, which is this like dolphin tail tool here. I want to make a dolphin sound, but I don't know how. You? No?
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of a dolphin sound.
Easy flipper.
Nope. There we go. So
And
this
where's
is-
Dixie Belle located in Florida?
they're in Lutz, Florida, which is near Tampa. So they're a little bit inland. I think they're safe from that. Otherwise, go get the paint. Get the paint.
Yeah, I hear there's a paint sale going on.
Save
Sorry,
the paint.
bad joke. That's what I do.
To tell bad jokes. That part's true.
Yeah.
That part, that's true. So we're kind of flying through these squares, and I think it takes this otherwise very, very, very simple piece, and it's just going to give it a little bit of color. And that's kind of what I didn't want to take away from. I don't want it to be too busy. I just feel like this is a really classic look. I love it with this color. And then once we get the hardware on, I just don't know if I want to take away from that.
And Sharon says at least they have warnings, whereas you don't get that with earthquakes and fires.
Oh, this is true. That's a really good point. I mean, fires you kind of do, because unless it starts in your backyard, you get a little bit of warning which direction it's coming. But our hometown, Sean and I are from Santa Rosa, California. We grew up there, and our hometown burned to the ground like 2 years ago now, huh?
Yeah.
That was really, really hard to see. We've been out there since, and I've never seen anything like it. Just entire neighborhoods leveled. So I like that plastic tool because it doesn't mark your paint. If you accidentally hit your paint with the wooden tool, it can leave little brown spots on your paint. And I like that the plastic tool doesn't do that as much.
So Amy went through and found the name of the transfer. So this.
Did you
She said
really?
this is called caravans.
Thank you. Thank you. You are awesome. Thank you. How cool is that? So caravans. Thank you, Amy. Which is a great name for it because it has that like very bohemian caravan look. Two more, and then you can tell me if my dresser is complete or do I keep going. You know the less is more, like, you know you shouldn't wear the blue eyeshadow, Brandy.
Oh, you can never have too much.
If I keep adding, is it going to be blue eyeshadow or? I'm leaning towards like leave it be. Don't try to improve on perfection.
Wow.
So modest. She's so modest.
You need Home Alone. Yeah.
I only have 2 more squares, so you guys better tell me fast if I'm done or... so what I plan to do after the transfer on this is I will seal this all with satin clear coat. Satin, because just satin is usually my general go-to favorite. This has a wood top on it. I've already done the top, and the top's sealed in gator hide.
Trisha says, first of all, never wear blue eyeshadow.
But I have blue eyes. It brings out my blue eyes, doesn't it?
Doing some kind of shading around the drawers, on the edges of the perimeter of the drawers.
I'm thinking.
There's been the mention of plaid, obviously stripes. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it simple. Just clean.
Do we have any votes for keep it simple, or is
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just interjecting. Just kind of throw my own in there.
Oh, those were all your ideas?
Yeah. No. I don't have this vision.
Sean's claiming your guys' ideas. I don't know. I really just like this look. Probably more than I even thought I would. Because I got this transfer and was like, huh, that's funky. But now that I'm seeing it on a piece, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of sitting with me now. I think it's really cute. These aren't colors I use a lot. Blue I do, but red, not so much.
What kind of hardware do you have going on?
So I have it ordered. I don't have it actually here yet, but I ordered some little white star hardware that I think will be cute. And then on the bottom, I'm going to use the original pulls. So it'll be mixed metals, and you'll get the contrast of the white against this and the dark against this. Huh? That's what I was thinking.
For my next trick,
so I just flipped that upside down only because I cut a straighter edge on one side than on the other.
I think you actually have more votes for keeping it simple.
Yeah, really? Yay.
Now that I've said that, watch, you know, a couple hundred people are going to chime in about something else.
When I put this drawer in, we'll really be able to see like what it looks like. Does it look like it's missing something? See, I've got a good scrap here, so I'm just making sure I don't have any spots that need a scrap before I discard this. I'm going to set it aside just in case. Always, 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 I take all my little transfer scraps. If there's a word on something you don't end up using, or a flower, and take those and keep them. I keep them in a Ziploc bag. And you'll be surprised how often you come back to use your transfer scraps. Just this one transfer here, I'm going to end up getting probably 2 pieces out of.
Some navy on the legs and then come up about 5 or 6 inches.
That would be cute. I did think about doing something with the legs because hang on, I'll put this drawer and I'll show you guys. This piece has some kind of cool legs. It's a mid-century piece, but it's got like French provincial legs, which is an interesting combo, but it's cute. Okay, let me go ahead and burnish this. So same thing, my Dixie Belle finishing pad. And it's called a finishing pad, you guys, because you can also go over your paint with this and it will make your paint nice and smooth too. So it's a really soft grit, good for just giving a final finish to anything. So from here, I could go right now and I could put clear coat on this. There's no need to wait after you put your transfer on. Once you've done it, it's on there.
Katie says this is a good American patriotic transfer. You don't want to go all out with an American flag. She's using it in a glass cabinet where her husband displays his medals, his Navy medals and awards.
That's perfect. You're right, because it's not overtly, the American flag, but it does have all the right colors in it. That's a really perfect idea for this one. So, do you guys kind of see what I'm talking about? Let me grab a piece of the hardware for this. I don't have the knobs for the top yet. I don't know. I really like just the top being the accent.
Oh, here, I'm listening back.
And then the dark handles down here will stand out against the sawmill gravy. So I think when you guys see this piece that it might be just like this. I don't really think I want to do anything to it. I really, really enjoy this color.
Sorry, Trisha's still waiting for my YouTube.
Oh, yep, keep searching, Trisha.
Yep.
Any day now.
It's not blue eyeshadow, it's just blue face from holding your breath.
So that's kind of my finished look. I really like this. Where are we on time? We're a little long, so I won't keep going. From here, I'm just going to put satin clear coat on this, and then once my hardware arrives, because I'm waiting for that in the mail from D. Lawless, and then I'll put that on. And I think this is kind of going to be my finished chest. I'm scared I'm going to mess it up, and I really like it right now. I like that the transfer is the feature. So that's kind of it, you guys. But look for pieces that have these insets like this, because they really are. Here's another one that I think would be perfect for a transfer. See how it's got a frame around it? And this inset right here would fit a transfer perfectly, or even a decorative paper, a stencil in here. But I like pieces that have frames, because they really, they can make a little picture frame for whatever it is you want to feature on your piece. Same thing with this. I've got perfect little frames. So that's kind of it. I'm going to let you guys go. If you enjoyed this, you guys come check out my live tomorrow morning at noon Eastern. I say morning because it's morning my time in California.
Be there or be square.
Yeah, noon
I'll be
Eastern
attending.
on World of Chalk Paint, Distress, and Decoupage. And we're going to be talking about brush care. Finally, a live on how to clean your brushes, wax brushes, paint brushes, synthetic, natural, all of it. Otherwise, I will see you guys here next Thursday. Go get your tickets to the Redesign with Dixie Belle tour and the Bells and Bows tour, and come paint with us in person. But you guys have a great night and have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week.